Hey, what's up everybody? It's Brian from USA.Patriot.Cards back with another video, this one titled Buying Low, Selling High. Just want to recap a few of the moves I've made since the last video I was able to upload. It's been a couple weeks. Tomorrow's the Super Bowl. Hoping Pat can win number 3. And his stuff keeps going up, although it takes a lot to move his higher end cards just because they're so high end. Definitely a third Super Bowl in 6 seasons would be a step in that direction, though. So I am pulling for the Chiefs tomorrow and pulling for a good, well, I wouldn't mind seeing a blowout, let's be honest. But if it's a good game, as long as the Chiefs win, I'm good with that. Anyway, buying low, selling high. Obviously, that's what everybody wants to do, whether you're an investor, whether you're a flipper, whether you're a collector. Anytime you buy something and then you want to move it, you're hopeful that it's higher than when you bought it. And I have a few examples of doing just that, so I wanted to highlight those for you today. The first thing I want to talk about is the sale that I did. This is the third red that I've sold to this particular buyer. He's the one that reached out to me, I don't know, a month ago on Instagram and offered me what I considered a price that was too good to refuse. And so I broke up my set. I've talked about this a lot in the past on these 2019 Topps Chrome poster cards. I pulled one. I pulled a red one. They're out of 5, opening a box in 2019. Decided that I was going to try to collect all of the poster cards, all 25 of them in the red parallel. And actually got pretty far with that. I got up to like 12 or 13. Was paying around between $150, $250 each for these back then. But what has happened is collectors have discovered this. This is the first subset of poster cards. They also have comic cards, a subset of like comic covers, Star Wars comic covers that are in this particular set. But the poster cards have gained a lot of popularity. And it's a set that I get asked about all the time, and I was really unwilling to abandon my attempt because I thought 25 red poster cards, right, the whole set in red would have been like really cool. I just couldn't find them anymore, and the ones I could find were graded. All mine were raw, and the prices have gone up. So this particular buyer reached out to me, like I said, about a month ago on Instagram, made me an offer that's too good to refuse. So I popped my set bubble and I abandoned the attempt. I sold him 2, and then this is the third one. So I've probably quadrupled my money with each of these sales. And so I still have 10 plus, well, 9 plus more, maybe 9, 10 more. So I'm looking forward to moving these and freeing up some capital to go after new stuff, which is just what I did here. Anyway, that's on its way. I think it's already been delivered to the buyer. And then next, I sold this pano. It's called a panoramic sketch, Garbage Pail Kids, to a buyer on eBay. I was a little shy to try to take this buyer off of eBay because I couldn't find them. First of all, they had a very obscure eBay username, and sometimes you just have to weigh the positives versus the negatives when it comes to trying to attempt to take someone off of eBay and make a buy or a sale. When you're the seller and you're trying to take someone off of eBay, oftentimes you can scare them away totally. And I got a pretty decent offer on this. Sold this for $400. So I just took the hit on the eBay fees. And then I was able to contact this person once I found out who it was. They were in a bunch of the Garbage Pail Kids Facebook groups. So I said, hey, in the future, if you want any sketches you see of mine, reach out to me, give you a better deal. And so that's contact in place for the future. But you just kind of have to sometimes weigh, like, is it worth losing this potential sale by trying to take this off of eBay? And that's just sometimes it is, and sometimes it isn't. In this case, I just wanted to move on. A lot of times it depends on how much you like the item, right, that you're selling. And this to me is a great sketch, but not something that I wanted to worry about, maximizing my return by taking off of eBay. Anyway, that brings me to probably my biggest sale in a while. That being on this 1977 Series 4 green Star Wars Han Solo Harrison Ford. PSA 10 Pop 6, I believe. Let's see. I have the alt page on this. Okay, so it is a Pop 4. Here are the comps on the latest 9s, and so I had this card on eBay for $6,500 or best offer. Full transparency, I bought this probably back in 2018 for like $650, I think. Star Wars Vintage is wildly popular and gaining popularity, and so a lot of this stuff has gone up, I'll say pretty significantly in the past 5-6 years. But the green Series 4, not as popular. I think that the biggest set, obviously, from that 1977 release is the Blues Series 1. That's where you see the number 1, Luke Skywalker, which I have in a PSA 8, which I'll show you here in a minute. Those blues in a PSA 10 get crazy. The greens, not so much. And so I got a $2,500 offer on eBay and was like, wow, okay. So I took a minute to do some research. Again, I had to weigh the whole, should I take this sale off of eBay, or at least try to, versus let me just accept this. I'm happy with this offer. I don't want to press my luck. And I had to weigh that decision. Ultimately, I decided the offer was strong enough just to accept it, eat the eBay fees, and move on. And so that's what I did. And I had to ship this to the authenticator, and I think it just arrived today, or it's supposed to get there maybe Monday. Today's Saturday. Sorry for my voice. But I'll show you a little bit of the research I did and how I decided that this was strong enough of an offer just to go ahead and accept it. So, as you can see, here are the PSA 9 sales of the green Han Solo. You'll notice in this vintage Star Wars stuff that the difference between a 10 and a 9 is crazy. I think typically in sports, modern sports cards, you might do a 3x between the 9 and the 10. But obviously this is much higher than that. To give you some context here, this is a very similar card. It's the Luke Skywalker as Mark Hamill, or Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker, green, from Series 4, PSA 10, and there are 10 of these. And the last 10 did 2 sold in August of 2023 at $13.23 and $13.80. And so let's look at the Luke 9s just to see how they compare to the Han Solo 9s. And here we see that they're about the same in the $60, $70, $80 range. So by my math, that would put the Han Solo at around $1,300. And so to be able to get almost double that, even after the eBay fees, I decided it was worth just eating those fees and moving on. So I did do that, and that will do it for my sales. Just to sort of, while we're on the topic, show you some of the other vintage Star Wars that I have. I thought it'd be a good time to do that. So, Stormtroopers, Tool of the Empire. This is the green Series 4. Here is, I believe, the yellows are Series 3. Now, this is a pretty big card. I'm not sure what this card would be worth, but anything Vader is a high dollar. And this is a PSA 10, so nice one there. This, another green. I don't know why I was buying all the greens. Probably because they were cheaper. And I didn't really understand that the blues were the ones that you wanted to get back when I was buying these. But the Vader as David Prowse is very similar to the Luke and the Han Solo, where you have the character and the actor's name. This is PSA 9, and these do, I think the last one did $250. So you can see the difference in Vader's prices. Another green, another Vader, PSA 9. They also had stickers that came out in that set. This is a Droids on the Run, PSA 10, R2, and C3PO. And then the Wonder Bread. These Wonder Breads can get pretty pricey in tens. This is a 9, the Vader. Here's a Vader sticker and a 9. Here's an 83 Star Wars Return of the Jedi Vader sticker and a 10. And here is the vintage Star Wars card of all vintage Star Wars cards. It is the Luke Skywalker blue, PSA 10. And let's take a look at the comps on this. So you can see how much how much of a premium these blues bring. So this is a really cool card. Probably hold on to this. If I sold all my other vintage Star Wars cards, I'd probably keep these two blues here. Love Stormtroopers. They've always been my favorite. Stormtroopers and Darth Vader. So here's a Stormtroopers Attack, first series, PSA 10 there. Now let's talk about some of the things that I have purchased with that sales money that I made. Staying with the Star Wars theme, this is a Ashcan Andy. Now, this is a sketch by Chris Meeks. I've talked about Chris Meeks before. One of the top sketch card artists in all of the sketch card artist kingdom. He does Garbage Pail Kids. He does Marvel. He does... don't think he does Star Wars. He might have worked on a Star Wars set in the past, but I don't recall. He does a lot of obscure sets that aren't created by Topps, some Rittenhouse sets, but anytime you can get a Chris Meeks, I mean, his stuff's just amazing. And I'd had my eye on this for quite a while. It came up on one of the Deal or No Deal Garbage Pail Facebook groups, and made a couple offers. Seller wouldn't take my offers, so I just kind of backed off of it, but I've always wanted this. And then it popped up on eBay, and so I went after it, and I won it, and I'm so happy I did, because it's really, really great. I love this sketch. And then another Chris Meeks sketch card. This one is from Garbage Pail Kids, set called Garbage Pail Kids Crashers. And you've got, I guess, Herman Munster to some people, Frankenstein to some people, I don't know. But it's definitely a Frankenstein-ish character driving what looks like, what is that, like a hot rod Model T? I don't know. But he's got his woman back there with her hand up like she's enjoying the ride. Love black and white sketches sometimes. They're just so classic. And this sketch just spoke to me when I saw it. This sketch was about 1/5 the price of this sketch, to give you an idea sort of what color can bring. So you can get some really nice sketches in black and white. Then this card, made an offer on this card. This guy is Alex Honnold. If you don't know who Alex Honnold is, he might be the most insanely gifted athlete to ever walk on this planet. And I don't say that lightly. He is a free solo climber. Well, I know he has a movie called Free Solo. I don't know what the I don't know what the proper term for that is. It doesn't say on the back. When someone climbs the faces of these mountains, these like straight up and down, like a face of a mountain, almost like you cut a mountain in half, and it's just like straight up and down. He climbs those without any protective gear, and he just released a new series on Nat Geo in which he is climbing. Well, he's besting his prior climb, which his prior best climb, which was in the movie Free Solo. Big Cap, I think, or El Cap, or was what they called that mountain that he climbed. It's almost like I have to turn away from the TV when I'm watching him do this stuff. I mean, he puts his balls on the line. It just is amazing, the focus and the just sheer bravery, maybe stupidity, but this guy is a monster stud. I mean, I just love this card because it's on card auto. He's kind of obscure. If you know, you know type of thing. But anything that Michael Jordan's ever done, this guy, I mean, the things he's done blows that out of the water. Now, granted, I love Michael Jordan just as much as the next guy, but this dude is doing things literally nobody else is doing. So, Alex Honnold. All right, and then let's talk about a controversial player in many respects, but one that I'm buying low on right now. Now, he's inconsistent, but when he's on, he's super on. He's just turned 22 yesterday. Jalen Green from the Rockets. All right, so he was the second pick in 2021, the year that Cade Cunningham was the top pick. Let's take a look at some of his stats the past 10 or 12 games. So I think he's trying to figure it out. And I know that the Rockets had mentioned trying to trade him. He did not get traded this year. Some people call him a selfish player. But when you look at the first 2 or 3 years of some of the league's best players, not everyone just jumps out knowing how to play in the NBA and dominating. He's shown a lot of flashes of being able to dominate. So, and the book on him is that he's a hard worker. So I took a chance. His stuff is super, super, super down right now. I mean, super down. So this one is a blue ice. I love blue ice. Typically, I want to find it in a color match. Obviously, with the Rockets, it doesn't work, but I still love it. So I picked this up super cheap. Like, I think this was like $3.50. This one I picked up at this kind of started my Jalen Green player run a couple Dallas shows ago. This is the True Red out of $2.99, and then this one happened just about a week ago. This is the Prism Choice. This is out of 88. So low pop, PSA 10, red color match. Gorgeous card. I think this is a pop too. And we'll see, how he does. It's not a huge risk because I'm buying post-hype on Jalen Green. Now, if I was buying these in 2019, I'd probably pay at least 3 to 4 times what I paid on these. So just with the sale of the Han Solo, I paid for everything, all of this, and still had plenty. Well, I bought this before, but even so, I mean, I still had plenty left over just from that sale. So, yeah, all these and cash, essentially, for that Han Solo green. So that's what I've been up to. Been watching the YouTube feed from Jeff Wilson's Cards HQ. It seems like Cricket's HQ to me. What Sports Card Radio likes to refer to that place as Cricket's HQ. I mean, I watch it, and I was just watching it this morning, and it was Saturday at noon in Atlanta, and there was nobody in there. I think all day yesterday, maybe there had been maybe 4 or 5 people breaking boxes, which not every shop just comes out hitting home runs, right? But he is talking about how like he's going to revolutionize retail. He came out and made a video about how they had sold 5,000 cards and 1,500 boxes in the first 5 days, and it just doesn't add up. I don't know. I'm not calling him a flat out liar, but what I am saying is, if he's lying, oh, it's going to be so delicious. And people aren't going to just let him say stuff like that without at least trying to find the receipts. So that should be interesting. What else? Bobby Witt Jr. signs a huge 14-year contract that some collectors, I saw a lot of Bobby Witt Jr. stuff being marketed, trying to be sold the day after he signed that contract with the Royals, because these guys are thinking, well, there goes his market. I disagree. I think a player that is willing to dedicate his entire career to a smaller market team that isn't the Yankees and isn't the Dodgers can have massive collectability as they, if he ends up being a Hall of Famer. So kudos for that. I'm happy for Bobby. He has a card. He has an Instagram for he's a card collector. So he has an Instagram for his card collection. He follows 76 players with that account. He follows, sorry. I'm excited. He follows 76 collectors or 76 people from his card account on Instagram, and I'm one of those 76. So honored to be that included in that group. So that's very cool. Now I just need to get him to check out my YouTube channel. But yep, that's what I've been up to. Hopefully things have been good your way. High school baseball is about to start up. We have our first scrimmage this week coming up, and then the week after is our first tournament. So life is going to get real busy real fast, and I can't wait for it. So thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you on the next one. Go Chiefs. Bye.